The year 2025 is not just a date on a calendar. It is a mirror. Look into it. What do you see? For most of us, modern life feels like sprinting on a treadmill. We are moving faster than ever, chasing promotions, chasing relationships, chasing the next dopamine hit from a glowing screen. Yet we are going nowhere. We are exhausted, not from the physical labor of our ancestors, but from a different kind of fatigue, the exhaustion of being someone we are not. We live in the age of the great slumber. We walk through our days on autopilot. We wake up, we check our phones, we work, we consume, we sleep. We react to stimuli like programmed machines. Someone insults you, you get angry. Someone likes your photo, you feel validated. The market crashes, you feel fear. We believe we are making choices, but are we? Or are we simply acting out scripts written by our parents, our society, and our biological impulses? A wise Buddhist monk once said, "Working hard for something we don't care about is stress. Working hard for something we love is passion." But here is the terrifying question. Do you even know what you love? Do you know who is doing the loving? If you stripped away your job title, your bank account, your social media profile, and the opinions of everyone you know, who would be left standing in that empty room? If you cannot answer that question immediately, you are asleep, and the danger is you might sleep through your entire life. But 2025 offers a crack in the wall, a chance to wake up. This is not a video about fixing yourself. You do not need fixing. You are not broken. You are hidden. This is a journey of excavation. We are going to dig through the layers of trauma, social conditioning, and biological wiring to find the only thing that can truly change your reality: the art of self-awareness. Welcome to your awakening.
Before we can talk about the soul, we must talk about the machine, the human brain. You see, true self-awareness is difficult because you are biologically designed against it. Your brain's primary function is not to make you happy, nor is it to help you find truth. Its primary function is to keep you alive. For thousands of years, alive meant fitting in with the tribe. If you were too different, too self-aware, or too independent, you risked exile. And in the wild, exile meant death. So we evolved a mechanism that psychologists call the default mode network. It is the autopilot. It is the voice in your head that constantly scans for danger and seeks social approval. It whispers, "Do they like me? Am I safe? Don't say that. It's weird." This mechanism creates what we call the ego. The ego is not bad. It is a survival suit. It protects the soft, vulnerable core of your being from the harshness of the world. But here is the tragedy of the modern human. We have worn the suit for so long that we have forgotten there is a person inside it. We think we are the suit. When you feel stuck, as we discussed in the beginning, it is usually because your ego is fighting a battle that your soul has no interest in fighting. The ego wants to be right, The soul wants to be free. The ego craves validation. The soul craves expression. The ego fears the future. The soul lives in the now. Self-awareness begins with a radical realization. You are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts. Think about that for a moment. If you can hear a voice in your head talking, then who is the one listening? That listener, that silent, spacious presence behind the noise, is the beginning of true self-awareness. Most people spend their entire lives trapped in the river of their thoughts, drowning in the current. Self-awareness is the act of climbing out of the river and sitting on the bank. You still see the river. You see the angry thoughts, the fearful thoughts, the memories, but you are no longer drowning in them. This is what the Buddha meant when he taught mindfulness. It wasn't about escaping reality. It was about seeing reality clearly without the distortion of the survival brain. In 2025, the world will try to pull you back into the river. The news, the algorithms, the economic pressures, they are designed to trigger your survival brain. They want you scared. They want you reactive, because a reactive person is easy to control. A self-aware person is not. So, lesson 1, stop fighting the machine. Just watch it.
Once you step out of the river of thoughts, you begin to see the architecture of your own personality. You realize that you are not a single solid block. You are layers. To navigate 2025 effectively, we must map these layers. We can borrow from both Carl Jung, the father of analytical psychology, and ancient Eastern philosophy. Layer 1. The persona. The mask. The outermost layer is the persona. In Latin, persona literally means mask. This is the face you show the world. It is the good employee, the responsible parent, the cool friend. The persona is necessary. It helps us function in society. The problem arises when the mask gets stuck to your face. Ask yourself, how much of my daily energy is spent polishing this mask? Are you exhausted because the work is hard, or are you exhausted because it takes immense energy to pretend to be someone you are not? When we confuse the mask with the self, we become hollow. We achieve the goals the mask wanted, only to feel empty when we get there. This is the midlife crisis. This is the burnout. It is the mask crumbling. Layer 2. The shadow. Beneath the mask lies the shadow. This is everything you have rejected about yourself. The anger you weren't allowed to show as a child, the selfishness, the sexual desires, the jealousy, the laziness. We spend our lives running from our shadow. We repress it. We numb it with alcohol, with entertainment, with busyness. But as Jung famously said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. This is crucial for 2025. If you do not acknowledge your shadow, it will sabotage you. You say you want to focus on yourself, your shadow will make you procrastinate. You say you want healthy relationships, your shadow will pick toxic partners who confirm your deepest insecurities. Self-awareness demands that we open the door to the basement. We must look at the shadow and say, I see you. The shadow is not just evil, it is also where your golden potential is hidden. Your aggression, when repressed, becomes bitterness. But when acknowledged and integrated, it becomes drive and boundaries. Your sensitivity, when hidden, becomes anxiety. But when accepted, it becomes creativity and empathy. Layer 3. The true self, the observer. Beneath the mask and the shadow, there is the core, the true self. In Buddhism, this is often described as Buddha nature or pure awareness. In secular terms, it is the you that existed before the world told you who you should be. The true self is calm. It is not in a rush. It does not need to prove anything. It is the part of you that feels deeply connected to nature, to music, to the present moment. The goal of the art of self-awareness is not to destroy the mask or kill the shadow. It is to align them. Imagine a carriage. The carriage is your body. The horses are your emotions, the shadow. The driver is your mind, the persona. And the passenger inside is the true self. For most people, the horses are running wild, the driver is asleep, and the passenger is screaming, but no one is listening. Self-awareness is waking up the driver, taming the horses, and asking the passenger, where do you actually want to go? In 2025, we're going to stop letting the horses run off cliffs. We're going to take the reins. But how? How do we actually do this when the bills are due and the world is screaming for our attention? It starts with the mirror of pain.
We live in a culture that is allergic to pain. When we feel sad, we scroll. When we feel anxious, we eat. When we feel lonely, we seek validation. We have built a trillion-dollar economy based on one simple promise: we can help you escape yourself. But here is the uncomfortable truth that the ancient Stoics and Buddhists knew. Pain is not a mistake. Pain is a messenger. Think of your physical body. If you touch a hot stove, you feel pain. Why? To tell you to move your hand. If you didn't feel that pain, you would burn to the bone. Emotional pain works the exact same way. Anxiety is a signal that you are living out of alignment with your values. Depression is often, though not always, a signal that your mask, that persona we talked about, has become too heavy to carry. Jealousy is a signal pointing to a hidden desire you are afraid to pursue. In 2025, instead of numbing the pain, we must do something radical. We must sit with it. This is the mirror of pain. When you look into a regular mirror, you see your face. When you look into the mirror of pain, you see your patterns. You see that you aren't angry at your boss. You are angry because you lack the courage to pursue your own dreams. You see that you aren't heartbroken over that person. You are heartbroken because you abandoned yourself to please them. This realization hurts. It is supposed to hurt. As the poet Rumi said, the wound is the place where the light enters you. True self-awareness is not a bubble bath or a spa day. It is the fire that burns away everything that isn't you. So, The next time you feel that tightening in your chest, that heavy fog in your mind, don't reach for the phone. Don't run. Stay. Ask the pain, what are you trying to show me? Listen. The answer might change your life. Once you accept the pain, you face a new problem. How do you not drown in it? If we dive too deep into our emotions, we become victims. We say things like, I am a sad person, or I am an angry person. Notice the language, I am. You are identifying with the emotion. You are claiming it as your identity. This is where the superpower of detachment comes in. Imagine your mind is the sky. Your thoughts and emotions are the clouds. Some clouds are white and fluffy, joy, excitement. Some are dark and terrifying, fear, grief. Some linger for days, depression. But notice this, the sky is never hurt by the clouds. The storm can rage, lightning can strike, but the sky remains untouched. It simply holds the weather. It provides the space for the weather to happen. You are the sky. This is the art of detachment. It doesn't mean you don't feel. You feel everything deeply, but you don't become the feeling. There is a psychological technique called cognitive diffusion. Instead of saying, I am anxious, try saying, I am noticing a feeling of anxiety. Do you feel the difference? I am anxious is a prison. I am noticing anxiety is freedom. It creates a tiny gap between you and the emotion. Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist who survived the Nazi concentration camps, discovered the ultimate human freedom. He said, between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. Most people live with zero space. Stimulus, reaction. Self-awareness widens the gap. Stimulus, pause, breathe, observe, choose response. In 2025, the world will try to close that gap. It wants you to react instantly to the headline, to the comment, to the notification. Your rebellion is the pause. Your weapon is detachment. Be the sky, not the weather.
Philosophy is useless without practice. We cannot just think our way into a new way of being. We must act our way there. Here are 3 specific tools to build your self-awareness muscle this year. Tool 1. The Radical Truth Journaling. Shadow work. Most people journal to vent. That's fine. But to transform, you need to dig. Every morning, ask yourself one question that makes you uncomfortable. Where am I lying to myself right now? Who am I trying to impress and why? What am I avoiding? Write without filtering. Let the shadow speak on the paper. You will be shocked at what comes out. Tool 2. The Why Ladder. The 5 Whys. When you catch yourself doing something irrational, like scrolling for 3 hours or snapping at your partner, stop Use the why ladder. Ask why 5 times. Why am I scrolling? Because I'm bored. Why am I bored? Because I don't want to work on my project. Why? Because I'm afraid it won't be good enough. Why? Because if I fail, I prove my father right. Why? Because I base my worth on achievement. Boom! In 5 questions, you went from "I'm bored" to the core trauma of self-worth. Now you are dealing with the root, not the symptom. Tool 3. The check-in ritual. Set an alarm on your phone for 3 random times a day. Label it. Where are you? When it rings, stop. Are you in the future, worrying? Are you in the past, regretting? Or are you here? Bring yourself back to the sensation of your feet on the floor, the breath in your lungs. Cool your mind back into your body. These tools are simple, but they are not easy. They require consistency. They require the courage to look when you want to look away. But remember the promise. The only way out is through. In the final chapter, we will explore how this internal shift transforms the external world, your relationships, your career, and your legacy. Because when you change, everything around you changes. This is where the magic happens.
Here is the final and perhaps most difficult truth of self-awareness. You do not see people as they are. You see people as you are. In psychology, this is called projection. Remember the shadow we talked about, the parts of yourself you refuse to acknowledge. Your mind has to put them somewhere, so it projects them onto the people closest to you. You hate your partner's laziness? It might be because you are suppressing your own need for rest, and you envy their ability to relax. You feel judged by your friends? It might be because you are constantly judging yourself, and you assume everyone else is doing the same. We treat our loved ones like movie screens, projecting our own internal dramas onto them. And then we blame the screen for the movie. True self-awareness saves relationships because it forces you to own your stuff. The next time you are furious at someone, ask the golden question: is this about them, or is this about a wound inside me that they just touched? When you take responsibility for your own triggers, you stop blaming. You start communicating. Instead of screaming, "You are ignoring me," accusation, you say, "I am feeling insecure and I need connection," vulnerability. That shift changes everything. Empathy is impossible without self-awareness. You cannot understand another person's pain until you have sat with your own. In 2025, let your relationships be the ultimate practice ground. Stop trying to change others. Clear your own lens. When you clean the mirror, the reflection changes on its own. We began this journey with a warning: the danger of sleepwalking through your own life. We end it with a choice. 2025 is approaching. The noise will get louder. The distractions will get faster. The world will beg you to forget who you are. you can go back to sleep. It is easier. It is comfortable. You can blame the economy, blame your parents, blame the algorithm, and drift down the river of good enough. Or you can wake up. You can choose the difficult, messy, beautiful path of self-awareness. You can choose to look in the mirror, not to fix your face, but to find your soul. You can choose to feel your pain so you can heal it. You can choose to observe your thoughts so you're not enslaved by them. The prize is not a perfect life. You will still get sad. You will still fail. You will still have bad days, but you will be alive for them. You will no longer be a passenger in your own body. You will be the driver. The Buddhist monks say that one moment of true awareness is worth 100 years of sleep. Don't wait for a crisis to wake you up. Don't wait for the diagnosis, the divorce, or the regret. Wake up now. The year 2025 is your blank canvas. The brush is in your hand. The colors are your emotions, your choices, your attention. What masterpiece will you paint? If this video sparked a light in you, don't let it fade when you click away. That observer inside you, it's listening right now. Commit to yourself. Type "I am awake" in the comments below as a promise to your future self. Join our community at Channel Name for the journey ahead. We are just getting started. Welcome home.